Have you ever heard a song that feels like someone sitting next to you, not trying to fix your life, not trying to preach, just staying there until the storm passes? That's the emotional space of Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush. It doesn't rush, it doesn't build toward a dramatic explosion, it doesn't try to impress you with speed or volume. Instead, it unfolds slowly, like a long conversation in a quiet room where the lights are low and the world outside feels uncertain. And if you ever felt the weight of being laid off, the silence after the call ends, the quiet drive home, the thoughts that begin to spiral, this song feels like it understands that moment too. This podcast episode is about how two singular British artists, each with their own unmistakable voice, came together in 1986 to create one of the most compassionate songs of the decade. It's about unemployment, pride, emotional collapse, and the simple power of hearing someone say, "Stay, keep going." Mid-80s pop culture often looked confident and glossy. MTV was colorful, stadium tours were massive, synth shimmered, rock was loud, but beneath that brightness, there were economic shifts happening across the UK and Europe. Industrial towns were changing. Unemployment in parts of Britain was still high after the early 80s recession. Families felt pressure. Identity felt fragile. And while the headlines change from decade to decade, that fragile feeling doesn't disappear. Industries shift, roles vanish, people question their worth when work disappears. Peter Gabriel had always been interested in the emotional landscape beneath headlines. After leaving Genesis in the mid 70s, he built a solo career focused on atmosphere, world rhythms, and deeply human storytelling. By 1986, he was working on So, an album that would become his commercial breakthrough. And right in the middle of the record is Don't Give Up. The inspiration reportedly came from Gabriel reading about the impact of unemployment on families. Not the statistics alone, but the emotional weight behind them. The sense of failure many men felt when they couldn't provide for their households. That emotional angle became the foundation of the song. The male voice in Don't Give Up carries exhaustion, shame, and quiet defeat. The female voice offers reassurance, stability, a steady warmth. It's not a love duet in the usual sense, it's more like an emotional lifeline. And that dynamic translates easily beyond relationships. It's the inner dialogue of someone who has just been let go from a job, one's voice saying, "I failed," the other quietly answering, "You haven't." Gabriel's voice enters softly. There's no theatrical flourish. He sounds tired, reflective, almost restrained. He doesn't oversing the despair. He lets it sit in the space between words. There's something brave about that restraint. In 1986, many male rock vocalists leaned toward power and dominance. Gabriel leans toward honesty. He sings about feeling like a failure, about losing work, losing confidence, losing direction, and he doesn't wrap it in a metaphor heavy language. The lines are simple and direct. That simplicity makes the emotion hit harder, especially if you ever question your own value after a professional setback. And when Kate Bush's voice arrives, the emotional temperature shifts. She doesn't overpower him. She doesn't argue. She simply answers, "Don't give up." Her tone is calm, almost maternal, but not in a patronizing way. It feels grounded. Bush was already known in the UK as one of the most distinctive artists of her generation, theatrical, poetic, innovative. But here she holds back. She sings with clarity and warmth. Her harmonies don't decorate the track, but they stabilize it. It's like someone placing a steady hand on your shoulder, or like that friend who reminds you after a layoff or rejection that your story isn't over. If you enjoy this kind of deep listening and reflection, join us live every week with the 90s Lover Show on Fridays and with the 80s Lover Show on Saturdays, both live at 7 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube and Kick channels. I first start the YouTube live stream for around 10 minutes just to allow people some time to gather as a kind of waiting room, and then we continue the full show live stream on Kick, where we can play full music, video clips with no restrictions. I share the link to Kick for you all to move there. And on Kick is where things really come alive with the 4 show segments, your song request, live voting, your voice messages on air, and even phone calls to share memories, stories, and reflections connected to the music and life. You can participate or simply listen, and if you feel like participating, you can do it on the Kick's live stream chat or by leaving comments on the main post of our public Facebook group, which allows more space to write. Join our public group on Facebook by searching for RetroLovers Radio 80s and 90s Nostalgia. Make sure also to subscribe on YouTube and turn on the notification bell. And keep an eye on all the 6 extra monthly special shows as well. The arrangement of Don't Give Up is built on patience. A soft, repetitive rhythm anchors the song. Synth pads create a wide emotional feel without overwhelming it. That's a gentle bass presence, steady and reassuring. Producer Daniel Lanois, working alongside Peter Gabriel, was known for using space as an instrument. Instead of filling every second with sound, he allowed air to exist between notes. And that breathing room is essential, because this isn't a song about dramatic rescue, it's about endurance. And endurance moves slowly, especially when rebuilding confidence after feeling defeated. Musically, the song alternates between Gabriel's verses and Kate Bush's responses. He sings about doubt, she responds with belief. But notice something important. She doesn't dismiss his feelings. She doesn't say, "You're wrong." She says, "Don't give up." It's a subtle difference. The song validates pain while encouraging persistence. In a decade often remembered for excess, this quiet compassion stands out. The music video is striking in its simplicity. Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush stand embracing in slow motion, rotating gently against a dark background. And that's it, that's all. No flashy edits, no dramatic narrative, just closeness. In an era filled with elaborate sets and high energy visuals, this choice felt almost radical. The stillness mirrored the song's message. Sometimes survival isn't loud. Sometimes it's just staying still long enough to catch your breath, long enough to plan your next move. And if this episode is touching something personal, maybe reminding you of a difficult season in your life or of someone who stood beside you when things felt uncertain, Please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel and share in the comments what don't give up means to you. And if you're navigating anxiety about work or job security or having recently been laid off, know that you are not alone in that feeling. Alright, let's keep going. Don't Give Up appears on Peter Gabriel's 1986 album So. That album marked a shift toward more accessible songwriting while maintaining artistic depth. Tracks like Sledgehammer and In Your Eyes became global hits, but Don't Give Up remains the emotional core. It shows another side of success. Behind the bright singles, there is vulnerability. The album balanced rhythm driven energy with introspection, blending world music influences, electronic textures, and thoughtful lyricism. Gabriel was proving that commercial success didn't require emotional compromise. And why it resonated beyond the charts? Well, while Don't Give Up didn't dominate the radio in the same explosive way as Sledgehammer or Steam did, it built something deeper. It became a song people turned to during hard times. Its message crossed boundaries, not tied to a specific event, not anchored in a single country. Economic hardship, personal doubt, mental restraint, these aren't limited to 1 year. And professional setbacks, layoffs, and moments of feeling replaceable aren't limited to 1 decade either. And the phrase don't give up doesn't age. One of the reason one of the reasons the song still feels relevant is how it handles masculinity. Gabriel's character admits fear, admits vulnerability, admits failure, and he's not mocked for it, he is supported. In 1986, that portrayal carried quiet significance. It suggested that strength could include honesty. That endurance didn't mean silence. Musically, the song works because neither voice dominates. They are equal in importance. Gabriel expresses the struggle, Bush expresses the response. Together, they create a conversation, and that conversation feels timeless. It's not about romance alone, it's about partnership, solidarity, and presence. And in the broader sense, it's about resilience. The choice to keep showing up even when circumstances shake your confidence. And why it still matters today. Well, play Don't Give Up now, and it doesn't feel trapped in 1986 at all. The production is spacious enough to feel modern. The melody is understated enough to avoid trend fatigue. But more importantly, the message still lands. In a world that often pushes constant motion, achievement, and performance, and where layoff can make people question their identity overnight, the song reminds us that pausing isn't quitting, that leaning on someone isn't weakness, that hearing Don't Give Up at the right moment can change everything. So now I would love to hear from you. Where were you when you first heard Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush? Was it during a difficult time in your life? Or did its meaning grow deeper as you got older? Do you connect more with Gabriel's verses or with Bush's reassuring chorus? And if you ever felt anxious, defeated, or recently laid off, does this song speak differently to you now? Please share your story in the comments, because songs like this aren't just listened to, they are lived. And we can support one another with our words and experiences, both in the past or in the present. So, do you remember now? This music gave you joy, and maybe today it gives you strength. So allow this moment to receive those feelings. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here in another episode, and see you all in the next one. I'm Mick, and this is Retro Lovers Radio.